Well, good afternoon to everyone now joining us. Coming to you this afternoon from the Georgetown Public Hospital, the morgue, where they're getting ready to begin the post-mortem examination or the autopsy of Adrianna Younge. They had a briefing with the family, so that's what has been taking place. The visiting forensic specialists or teams, medical examiners, they've been briefing the family, and so we saw the family coming back this side to the area. We're going to try to see if we can get any comments from some of the visiting pathologists. We see them now coming here to begin the process. As I was mentioning earlier, they were doing a briefing with the family, and so you'll see them coming this side now to begin that official autopsy on the body of 11-year-old Adrianna Younge. They brought the body over early this morning from the Ezekiel Funeral Home, and they did a full CT body scan, a forensic body scan at the Balwan Singh Hospital before then transferring the body here to the Georgetown Hospital. But before they got into that, they of course had a long briefing with the family to explain to them the details of what will take place and some of the details that they might have already been looking at based on those early scans that they did. So you see the team now coming here. The foreign specialists, and of course there are some local doctors that are going to be accompanying them and looking into, observing what they'll be doing. We have Dr. Caleb McLaughlin, a local doctor. The family has requested that he observe it on their behalf. So you see, it says Caleb McLaughlin here in the jacket. And then you have the visiting pathologist there along with the CEO of the Georgetown Public Hospital. There's a pathologist from Barbados, the one from Maryland, I think, and then of course the one from Mount Sinai. So they're making their way now into the room. This is where they'll be heading. They've come with their own equipment and everything. And so they'll be heading into the main room here to begin that medical examination. Dr. McLaughlin, I know it's not starting as yet.
Yeah. So
give me
initially, right? I know everybody's a bit anxious about what's happening, especially the persons on the road. Now, guys, this is a process, and it's a process. There are 3 different pathologists from 3 different countries here. The reason why the process has been delayed, they had to meet together. They had to organize themselves. They had to review all the footages, all the pictures, all the videos. They had to speak to the relative, which they just concluded in the presence of Mr. Wade, who is the lawyer. And now, at 12:30, they'll start the procedure, whereby they'll be doing a meticulous necropsy, all right, or post-mortem examination, however you guys want to say it. But please have patience. This thing is not, I know everybody's outside shouting about justice, but we want to get justice. If we keep calm, remember this is GPHC. Many of us have sick relatives around here. Please don't burn anything around here. We have oxygen tanks. Please don't cause anything. The procedure will begin at 12:30. All right? Be patient, guys. All right?
Dr. McLaughlin, I know you said it's going to be meticulous. So how long are we looking at? What is that process going to be like?
All right. A normal autopsy may take like half an hour, the ones that we do here in Guyana, but it's a forensic one. So it might take up to 4 hours. secondly, you may not get those results immediately because, first of all, after you're finished, the pathologist, they will meet with the relatives, which is only just.
Will they be meeting with the press?
To report the findings before anything else is being released to the press. All right, but there's a procedure and it has begun.
I know you said this is going to be a forensic pathology against a regular one that we might see here in Guyana. What's the difference? Explain that difference for some of us who are not in the medical field.
Oh yes, all right. So in a normal post-mortem examination, you just see, depending on the person has a head trauma, you might just see like them checking the skull, opening the skull, or just opening the chest cavity. In this case, it will be more in depth, as in there might be more cuts on her hands, more cuts about the body, more than usual. So it will be a bit more for persons who can stomach stuff a bit more, in depth.
In depth.
Very choosy with my words.
And I know the family, they've asked you to be here for them, to overlook it for them, because it's going to be tough on them too. So you'll be also liaisoning with them.
Yes, sir. I will be in there through the whole process.
Okay.
All right. Just want the truth. These guys, it seem like they really know what they're doing. The questions they were asking were to the point. We know what direction they're heading in, and I think we'll get to the bottom of this.
Yeah. We have some persons online asking why they had to review footage. Why was there a need to review footage, to review photographs that were taken from the scene earlier? And so explain that process and the importance of that.
All right. That's why it's called a forensic post-mortem examination. It's something different. The reason for that is so that they're able to, all right, the body has been decomposing for a number of days. Now, if they can see what happened, how it was on that first day, they'll be able to, start to make a more calculated decision as in what may be the cause. Especially the part with the discoloration of the pressure points in the body, that was of major concern for them. So by virtue of that, they can, by seeing these videos, they had a timestamp. As in, she was missing 3 o'clock the day. At this time, she came out. They found her in the pool, so they'll know exactly the water itself may have caused.
Continue.
Water or anything else may have caused the problem that they're looking for.
Thanks a lot, Doc.
Sorry about that.
It's all right. Thanks a lot.
Guys, please bear with us. The procedure has begun. 12:30, we will begin. All right? Thank you.
Thanks a lot, and that is Dr. Caleb McLaughlin. He is the doctor that the family has asked. He's an endocrinologist. I think the only local one. But the families asked him to be a part of the process, to overlook the process on their behalf. He's also from the community, so the family knows him well, and so he'll be in there with the foreign pathologists who were here to overlook this process. And of course, it'll take place in this area. This is the morgue at the Georgetown Hospital. Of course, we wouldn't be allowed in there. That's where the medical people will be to go through the process. As you heard the doctor explain, it's going to be very detailed. And so it's not like a normal pathology or postmortem examination where he explained if you know someone is suffering from a heart issue, then you go there and open the chest cavity and look for that. If someone has a brain problem, then they would open that area and look for that. But a forensic pathology, a forensic examination, they go into much more detail. So they're going to be looking at different parts of the body. They might be cutting various parts of the body, as he explained, that they might not usually do. But because of the forensic nature, they'll be doing all of that. He also explained to us that this can take a few hours. Because a normal pathology, a normal post-mortem examination could take about 30 minutes. But because of the detailed nature of this, it could take as long as 4 hours. And Dr. McLaughlin explained in detail that once that is completed, then they will first brief the family. And once they brief the family, then the information will be relayed to anyone else. He explained that before they went into the room to begin this pathology, they'll start at 12:30. He explained that they went through video recordings of the discovery of the body, pictures that were taken of the body, looking at different areas. He explained that the pathologists were concerned about some discoloration they saw on the body. So they will be looking into more detail with that as they go through this process. But again, Dr. McLaughlin, who's representing the family here, very qualified doctor, he's asking for calm, he's asking for patience, and he's asking for people to remember those who are gathered on the outer corridor of the Georgetown Hospital. To remember, this is a hospital. And so you have people who are in the emergency room, people who are in critical condition, and you don't want to disrupt that. So he's asking that even as people are concerned and people will want to go through and get more information on everything, that they understand what they're doing here. That these guys, the pathologists who've come in, they're very qualified in their field. They've been asking questions. And so he's saying that be patient and the information will come out. He, of course, is representing the family. The family requested that he be here along with the foreign pathologists who will be overlooking this process. This is a very tragic story down here at the Georgetown Public Hospital. The post-mortem examination on the body of little 11-year-old Adrianna Younge last week went missing while with her family, her grandmother and the relatives at that hotel, and then they found her body the next day in the pool, triggering wide-scale protests as we have all seen over the past week or so. And so, this post-mortem, the family requested an independent independent post-mortem examination. And so 3 pathologists, one from the U.S., 2 from the U.S. in fact, one from Mount Sinai, and I think the other from Delaware, and then the one that's based in the Caribbean. And of course, Dr. Caleb will be going through it with them along with other persons. They also have video cameras in there that will be recording everything, taking photographs of everything. Investigators are also in there that will be a part of this process. The entire thing will be fully recorded, the entire examination, and of course, they'll look at notes, compare notes, and all of that before later meeting with the family again to explain to them what they might have found, what they're going to be looking at, and some of those things. Of course, early this morning, the process started with what was a full CT scan of the body of little Adrianna. And that CT scan would examine the entire body, things that they would, be looking for in the body, and things that they might see, differences they might see in some areas. So, this is the latest here at the Georgetown Public Hospital where this process will take place. It's now coming up to the 12 noon hour. At 12:30, they will begin this process. And just to recap, Dr. McLaughlin spoke with us, and he explained, Dr. McLaughlin explained that, Dr. McLaughlin explained that it could be a long, detailed process. We have the family out here. We have the family out here. And we have the family out here, outside the Georgetown Hospital. With some of their supporters and stuff like that. But again, we're coming to you from the Georgetown Public Hospital, tracking this story, following this story for you. Today, we will give you more details as those details become available. But we have the doctor explaining that they will begin this post-mortem examination at 12:30, saying that the reason it was a bit delayed is because they have to go through footage, they have to meet with the family, brief the family on what they'll be doing, what they'll be looking for, and all of that. And then, of course, they'll be offering more details.
This has not been confirmed.
You want to chip lot of police are driving inside there. You want to chip lot of police are driving inside there. And stop item here for the flipping there, man. And none of them do in there. Telling me nonsense. Eh? The world can't tell me that I'm drunk yet. Me that I'm never drunk. Are you sure about that? Yeah, look. People. It's all over TikTok. It's TikTok again before. It's up on TikTok. Whosoever put it up on TikTok. It's up on TikTok. It's TikTok. I run a true serious now. It's up on TikTok. You have to come on your TikTok. You have to see. I will see on TikTok. TikTok are all the things. I know, but you know these people. There's me that about you, right? There is me that about you, right?
Here we have the father there of little Adriana talking about some piece of footage that he said he saw on TikTok. Somebody sent something to him. We have not known what that is yet. Where they're getting set to begin this post-mortem examination. It could take up to 4 hours, as explained by Dr. Caleb McLaughlin, who is the doctor representing the family in that process. They've asked him to overlook the process on their behalf, in addition to the 3 independent pathologists who will be conducting this process. So Dr. Caleb explaining to us that it will be a detailed and long process. It could take up to 4 hours. He said they will check all the different points in her body to get a very clear understanding of the situation with regards to that. And of course, he's asking for patience and also asking for calm. Reminding persons there's a crowd gathered outside the hospital here in this area where they're doing the postmortem on the road. And he's reminding persons that this is still a hospital, so as much as the situation might be tense and all of that, that they ought to remember that there are people here in the hospital who are in critical condition and so they should be mindful of that. But again, the post-mortem examination of little Adrianna Younge set to begin at about 12:30. And once that process is completed, there will be a briefing of the family first, and then I figure they'll try to brief the media. So we're going to keep you updated as much as we could as the information unfolds here at the Georgetown Public Hospital. I'm Gordon Mosely reporting. We're going to come back with you as soon as we get information to share with you.